So this is the textbook. This is chapter 1 of the textbook. And as far as I'm concerned, everything here will be a review for you guys. But it's a kind of annoying review because Lily, can you see the chapter 1? Okay. It's a kind of annoying for many of you because in chapter 1 they use all kinds of equations and formulas. But I would ask you to, when you read chapter 1 for the first time, don't focus too much on the formulas, okay? Just try to get the message in each section. But now I'm going to assign all of chapter 1 for you guys to read between now and next class. And I'll say try to understand as much as possible, because over this semester, from time to time, I'll come back to chapter 1, okay? So this you can consider this the first pass through to chapter 1. But I'll be coming back because there are just 4 chapters or 5 chapters of the book we shall cover. And most of the time we'll spend in chapters 2 and 4. But in chapter 2, you know, sometimes I'll bring you back to the statistics in chapter 1. So let's begin now. Everybody, with no exception, please read the whole of chapter 1 between now and next class. So what are you looking at? Section 1.1, they will talk about asset returns. You guys, at this stage of the game, you have taken finance, you have taken accounting, so you should be familiar with returns. But here, it walks you through the different ways, the different meanings of returns, okay? And what's most important for this class is that you understand there are 2 ways, you understand 2 ways that we calculate returns. One way is percentage difference. The example I did on Excel last class, we used percentage returns. P2 minus P1 divided by P1. And if there's dividend, it will be P2 minus P1, parentheses, plus dividend divided by P1. So that's percentage price difference, okay? Just price differences. Another way you will see in section 1.1 is using natural logs. So the returns would be like log P2 minus log, it would be log P2, log of everything, P2 divided by P1, which is the same as log P2 minus log P1. So those are the 2 most important things I want you to get from that section. And then in section 1.2, they talk about prices and bond yields and bond prices. Those of you who took Finance 3000 already, which is like everybody, I hope, this will be a peer review for you. Okay, this is the stuff you saw in Finance 3000. Section 1.4 is exceedingly important, especially if you're still not comfortable with R. So in section 1.4, they recommend the packages for you to download, for you to install. There are 3 packages. One of them, I mean, page 12 is a famous page for this textbook. So there it tells you an important package is Quant Mod. Okay? What does Quant Mod allow you to do? In your computer, while sitting on your desk in your room or in your home, you can go to the Federal Reserve Bank of St. Louis or Federal Reserve Bank system, or you can go to where we call FRED, the Federal Reserve Economic Database, something like that. And once you have the, or you can go to New York Stock Exchange, you can go anywhere. Once you have the ticker number of the ticker label of a stock, you can use Quant Mod to go download any amount of data you want from the database. So there are three. Let's go there. I think it's 12. There are three packages it recommends for you to download. Where is that? So do Quant Mod, this one here, Quant Mod. All right. And there are three packages that come with Quant Mod. They are TTR, XTS, and Zoo. So Quant Mod lets you go to the database, for example, Fred or Yahoo, okay? And then once you have the data, what do you do with it? You will do some time series, you will do descriptive statistics, you will do all those things. These three items will help you do those. So Quant Mod takes you there, helps you to bring the data, and then you will do econometrics with the data, okay? And the econometrics you will do, you will use these three things, TTR, XTS, and Zoo. And as we go on, I will recommend and I'll ask you to install other packages to try other things, okay? All right, so that's your homework. So go download these three, not download, install them, and then work with them to the extent that is done in this section, because in the textbook, it asks you to download it and it shows you an exercise, okay? For example, on page 13, the very next page, see, oh God, it says our demonstration with Quant Mod package. You see that? So once you have downloaded those three packages, look, just follow this exercise as much as you can, and you will see that the results will show. For example, here, it brings in Quant Mod to your R session. And to use Quant Mod to download data, look, this is the command, get symbols. And one thing you will find very quickly with R is you have to type it exactly the way it's showing. You see this S is caps, right? If you type it as lowercase, it will not work. So R is very case sensitive, okay? So within Quant Mod, the command that you will use to go get data is get symbols. And you have to type it exactly this way. And look, AAPL, this is Apple. You see the quotation mark? So get symbols, AAPL. Essentially, you are saying, go get me Apple from Yahoo Finance somewhere, okay? Wherever the database is. All right, so I'll let you play with this over the weekend. Please try, it's okay. It's okay if you make mistakes and you get things wrong, just try again. But if you keep getting the mistakes, try to figure it out. If not, you can email me or just wait until next class, okay? All right, so let's go back to the first page. Let's see. All right, so one. Okay, and then so once you have learned how to get the data, the next thing I want you to do is to read the rest of the chapter. For example, it tells you examples of financial data, distributional properties, which is what we did last class, which I will review tonight, okay? So a lot of the stuff we'll be doing tonight will be in section 1.6. And then it shows you how to plot data, to visualize data. So that's section 1.7. And then section 1.8 is a review of the different kinds of distributions you will be talking about in the book. But mostly we shall talk about normal distribution and log normal distributions, okay? So the homework for this weekend before next class is please read chapter 1 as much as you can. Is that okay? All right. So what do I want to do tonight? What was that page again? I think it's page 23. Let me go there. Okay. So on page 23, you see all the formulas for the moments. So these formulas are similar to the ones I gave you last class with my handwritten notes. But look here, I want to show everybody this. Here it's using n-1 to divide, so it's treating it as sample. So sample means sample variance, sample. So it's treating all of these statistics as sample statistics. But look at what it calls skewness. Okay, so skewness is HPR minus average to the power 3. Add them all up, divide by t-1, that's n-1 because it's sample, and then also divide by standard deviation to power 3. So what did I call this skewness last time on my spreadsheet? What did I call it?
Coefficient skewness.
Coefficient.
Exactly, that's what I call coefficient of skewness. And here, this is what it's calling kurtosis. Okay, it's dividing by sample standard deviation to the 4th. So it's calling it, what it calls kurtosis is what I call coefficient of kurtosis in my example. So I remember I had mentioned it to you, and you will even see tonight, what you will notice tonight is that I'm going to show you an R session in a few minutes. And the skewness and the kurtosis that this particular package calculates doesn't come from this equation, these two equations. So hello everyone, I'm going to show you two packages. I'm going to use two packages tonight to do exactly the same thing. But you see that each of those packages has a different answer for skewness and kurtosis, different from my own answer. So the formulas are different because, I mean, I checked yesterday and I checked some of the literature. There are different concepts of skewness and kurtosis in the literature, okay? So, but I'll suggest, since your book gives essentially my own equation, if you have to do skewness on Excel, for example, I suggest you use these equations here. But if we want to do an R session, then you can use whatever that package is using. You will not be wrong, okay? Use whatever equation the package is using. It is very difficult. I haven't found it easy to find out the formulas that the packages use, but I will do so maybe by next class, okay? All right, so we are going to do this tonight, and we are going to do a sample, very simple R session. Okay. Any questions? All right, so let me show you what I'm going to, so last class, this is what we did last class. I showed you this last class, okay? No, you cannot see this. Let's see. Okay, you can see this now. So this is what we did last class. And if you notice to the top left-hand corner here, I have labeled this in red, data for the population. So this page here, I divided by n. I was dividing everything through by n, okay? For example, skewness, I divided by n and so on, okay? And standard deviation, I divided by n, by 4, because we had 4 returns. But because your textbook uses sample, then what I did was, so this page I labeled entire population. So I copied, I went down here, and I did exactly the same things, but on the assumption my data as a sample, you see? So for skewness, I was dividing by 3, here by 3. For variance, for skewness, I was dividing by 3. For kurtosis, I was dividing by 3. So now I'm dividing by n minus 1. Are you with me? Just to be consistent with your textbook. But for me, it really doesn't matter for now, okay? But as you'll see, my coefficient of skewness is different. My coefficient of kurtosis is different from the ones we shall be seeing tonight. So this is what I have done. I have copied these returns to a different file so that this will not all be messy. So I have copied them to a different Excel file. Where's the file? All right. Let's see now. So where's my file? Where's my Excel file? Let's see. Please bear with me for a second. Where's my Excel file? I seem to have lost my Excel file. Okay, here. Okay, so this is the Excel file. So what I did was I copied everything to this to just a brand new Excel sheet. So there'll be no clutter, okay? Because I'm going to be reading this file into the R session. And we're going to do, I'll show you some steps. And please don't worry about this. Whatever I do tonight, I haven't posted it to Blackboard because believe me, I know it's going to be messy. I know myself. So, but after tonight, whatever happens, I'll clean this up and label the Excel the Excel statements for you, and then post it for you on Blackboard so you can repeat it yourself. Okay. All right. So this is what. So these are the holding period returns. Remember how we obtained them from the prices last Tuesday, yes? Okay. So this is what I call, the name of this file is moments file. All right, so remember that. Okay, now fingers crossed. I am going to go into an Excel session now. Where is that? Okay, not Excel session, my R session.
Professor, I have a quick question.
Yeah, sure.
So we should remember from last class, the way the prices were attained were just by analyzing the changes in holding period returns.
Yes, that's one of 2 ways I would like for everybody to learn in this class. And you will see that in chapter 1 when you read, okay? There are 2 ways, either as percentage difference, like we did on Tuesday, or as natural log differences, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You will see that in chapter 1. So throughout this semester, I'll give you a project. I'll say go somewhere to download data and do some exercises, but you download prices, convert them to returns, but what type of returns, I will let you know at that time.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, so can everybody see my Excel set, my R session here? So this is R Studio. If you do R Studio, you'll see these 4 chambers. This one, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I'll leave you on YouTube and on Google, wherever, to figure out the job of each of those 4 sessions. Okay. But here, the top left-hand side chamber, this one here, I like this a lot because before I do any work, I go here and I type my commands. See? Look, these are all our commands. I put them here, I save them. I go have a beer, or I go watch a movie, and I come back 2 days time when I have psyched myself up, then I come back and I'm ready to do my R session. So I tend to think a lot before I do an R session, okay? I tend to think about it a lot because I used to be an engineer, I used to be a programmer, I programmed a lot for many years. So I know the way I program. So when I have, especially when I do my research and I have converted to using R, I think about step by step what I want to do. I want to encourage everybody. If I give you something to do and you need to do it on R, before just diving in to do it and then confusing yourself, think about it first, as if you are talking to me or you're talking to a friend. This is what I plan to do. Write it out in English. Step 1, I want to do this. Step 2, I want to do this. Step 3, I want in English. And then convert it to an R command, okay? That's so essential. I don't do all those steps now because I have the experience over many years. So before doing this, I already thought about it. What do I want to do? Okay, so look, so these commands here, I type them all according to the R language, and then I don't run it. I do not automate it. I run it step by step. Are you with me? I run it step by step. So, for example, the first line is this. What does this first line do? It essentially tells R which folder, where to go to find my stuff. So this says I'm setting the working directory, set WD. So I'm telling, not Excel, I'm telling R that I want you to go to this R folder, because that's where I'll be getting data from. That's where I'll be saving my data to, okay? And then when it goes to that folder has many files. I don't want to show you my folder. It's like showing you my office. It's a mess. So I say, hey, my buddy William, by the way, I'm teaching class now, but I forgot something in my office. William, can you please go to my office? So I tell you, go to the 10th floor, room 276. Here's my key, open it. And then William goes and says, oh my God, professor, this is like a crazy person's office. I say, okay, calm down, calm down. Look to your left, look at the shelf, the second from top, and pull out that book, okay? So go to my office is the first line here, set working directory, right? And then, hey, William, don't freak out on me. Look to forget all the clutter on the floor and all the rats and mice and everything and beer all over the floor. But just forget that. Look on top to the second level. You see that the second book to the right, just pull it out. That's the second line here, okay? So once you go to that room, to that directory, it tells you the file to pick out. And this is the file, okay? So it goes to the R folder and it gets the file. I just showed you that file, yes? I just showed you that file. And then once you have that file, once you have gotten that file, please do this, and do everything else. Okay. So you know what because I already ran this before. So let me see, everybody bear with me now. Let me see if I can start a new R session. So I'm going to copy all of this. So I'm going to copy them. You mean now? No, how about these commands? Have you typed all these things here? Okay, so you want me to send you, why don't I do this for you? Why don't I just show you the Excel file so that, so that you can see, yes, okay. Okay, I'm recording. I don't know if I will interrupt anything by posting it on Blackboard, but let me try, okay? Let me try. Let me see if I can try that. So I do this.
You can pause the recording if you want, Professor.
Oh, okay. So let me pause it. Okay, let me pause. Sometimes even with pause, it doesn't allow me to do things. Okay, so let me pause here. Let's pause.
The recording has stopped.
Okay, so let me see if I can upload. Let me see if I can upload the file for you. Where's my Blackboard section? My Blackboard here. I go to course documents. And I go to build content. Okay. Excel file. All right, so I'm putting the Excel file in. Let me browse my computer for, sorry, I'm talking to myself now. For my R folder. All right. Okay, it's uploaded. Who asked me that question? Was it Alec? Who was that? Andrew, thank you for asking me that because it just reminded me to make a point. Okay, I think it's there now. Okay. Everybody, whenever you want to upload data from Excel to R, usually when you put data in Excel, it has a file extension .xlx or some Excel XLS or XLSX, something like that. But you need to make this a comma delimited, a CSV, right? If you notice the file I just uploaded, it says momentsfile.csv, yes? So whenever you bring in data to Excel, you have to save it again with file extension CSV. Are you guys seeing what I'm saying?
No, you're not sharing the screen. And also, Professor,
No, I'm not sharing.
recording.
I'm not sharing the screen yet. But so you want me to record and tell you the same thing?
No, it's okay.
Okay. There's something else I want to do before I begin to share. I want to just bear with me, please. I want to see if I can bring up a new Excel session. Let's see. You see, when you're recording, it doesn't allow you to minimize your screen and do other things. So I can't. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Okay, let's go on. So let me resume recording. Let's see.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, so I'm recording again. Let me go to my R session. Okay. So those of you that want to play along with me, I will what do I want to do now? I want to clear stuff. Yes, I was trying to start a new session, but it didn't allow me to start the session because, okay, let me try again. Sorry, guys, let me try. Let me try, where the heck is this? Let me try. Okay. Let me just, give me a second. Let me pause recording in case.
The recording has stopped.
Let me go back and do share screen. Let me try. I know you may not see what I'm doing now. That's okay. Don't worry about it. But I want to see if I can, I want to see if I can bring in a session. Yeah, but I don't want you to see my screen for now. Let's see. Okay, good. So let me, okay, yeah. So yeah, so I'm trying to bring in a new session so that all the things I have run so far, you guys can see a new session. It will be fast, okay? Once I begin to do, okay, good. Our studio not responding, okay. All right, so it is responding. Okay. Okay, so I'm coming back to everybody now. So I'm going to, so let me resume recording.
This meeting is being recorded.
And then let me share the screen again. All right. Okay. Can everybody see it now?
Yeah.
Okay, see?
Yes.
This quadrant on the right-hand side, everything on the right-hand side is blank. That's okay. And I have copied the scripts from the previous session to this session. Sometimes it gives me a problem because my computer tells me I already have a session running, but let's see how it goes, okay? So now this is what I do. So I have these things here. Look, can you see my cursor where it says run, R-U-N? Can you see that? Okay, so I use that command to run every line. So again, do it the way it works for you. This is the way it works for me. Sometimes I have more than 200 lines of script for my work, okay? And I try to run them line by line by line by line patiently to see if they all do what I want. So, but excuse me, everybody, look at the bottom left-hand corner. That's where all the results take place. So I run a command up here, and keep your eyes on this left-hand side, bottom left-hand side. Okay, so let's go. So the first thing I do is I highlight the first line. I highlight the first line, and I point my cursor to run, and I click it. You see? It says it has done it below here. So it tells me, William, you have gone to my office. You have opened my door. Now, what do I want you to do? I want you to pull out a file in there. Now, by the way, I'm sure you will notice it this evening. When I make a mistake, it doesn't, when I make a mistake and give it a command, it comes here below to say error. So if you give it a command and it gives you its cursor blank like this, it's like, yay, everything is fine, okay? All right, so let me go and run the second line. So I'm saying, so this is what I'm telling R. Go to my folder, get this file, the one I just gave you guys on Blackboard, get this file and put everything in that file in a temporary file called data. So read everything into data, and that I'll be working with data. So whenever I say data, it knows to use the contents of that file. You see that? Okay, so that's what it's doing now. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Bingo, so far so good. No error. I'm always expecting an error. So it tells me that it has gone to my folder. It has read this file, moments, the same one you have, and put all the contents in data. Okay. Now, in fact, let me introduce another line here. Let me just type data. So I'm going to ask it to show me this data. Show me what's in data. Okay, let's see if it will do it. So I say run. You see, it shows me my data. See that? So I don't have to keep saying moments_file.csv. I just say put everything in data. I have a colleague, all she does is D. Instead of using data, she says D. So okay. So now what have I done? William, you have gone to my office. Thank you. You have brought out the book, and now you want to start doing work with the book. So what do we want to do? We want to do some work, but I want that work. I want to use a particular type of package. The name is FBasics. Okay, so FBasics. Maybe next week we shall explore packages in the bottom right-hand corner here. But FBasics is one of the packages. It's a program that you use to do many things, okay? So, but before I can use it, I have to install it into my R, and then I have to bring it into my session. So I say install. So here, I'm going to say install FBasics. And please, everybody, I hope you are looking at the syntax. This is how you communicate with R. I want to install a package. I tell R, install period packages, even though I'm installing only one package, but the command you use is packages. Parentheses, in quotes, double quotes, not single quotes, double quotes, the name of the package, okay? And you see the name, lowercase f, uppercase B. If you type lowercase f and lowercase b, it's wrong. It's case sensitive. Okay, so let me run it. You see, it's installing now. You will see it will give me some other messages. It says warning. Let's see. You see, it's installing. Oh, by the way, everybody, can you please stop? Everybody stop in class. I want to wish all my wonderful Chinese students Happy New Year. Happy New Year. And this is the year of the ox, okay, in the lunar calendar. So all my Chinese friends here, Happy New Year, okay? Everybody. It's on my cell phone, my Chinese friends are just waking up in China and they're all responding to my well wishes. Yes, so it's the year of the ox this year, and I wish you all special blessings, okay? All my Chinese friends and all of you actually. All right, so let's go on. So you see, it has downloaded everything. It has installed the package. But guess what? I cannot do anything with this package now because the package has been downloaded into my folder, into my R folder. But to use it for this session, I have to use the next command, library, okay? Sorry, so this next command, library, this one, tells R to go to the folder and bring the package to my R session, to this particular session. So I'm going to run this. You see, it says there's no package called fbasic. I already knew that. I'm going to have a problem. Usually it happens. Okay, library fbasics. I always have this problem when I do an R session and I'm recording in class because somehow, I don't know if it's a space thing, it has installed this library. Okay, let's see. Let me do it again.
Professor, do you also need to put the quotes in that line?
No, not generally. If you do that, no, usually when you put the library, you don't typically do the quotes. I hate this. I really hate this because no package called fbasics. It doesn't. Okay, let me just to make sure I'm not making a mistake. It won't. The syntax is wrong.
You're making it right, Professor. It doesn't need the quotation marks.
Yeah, it doesn't need quotation marks.
Yeah.
It doesn't need. I have done this many times, but there's always something. Error in library. There's no package. It doesn't. I don't know why it doesn't recognize it. It's required.
Professor. So on the right bottom quadrant.
This one here.
You have packages there. Can you click on that and maybe you can find it there and check it? Yeah.
Yeah. But the package is already. I have brought it in already. fbasics. Okay, let me install. Let me install using here. fbasics. So this is it. So let's install that through here. The same, it gives. Okay, so now let's run the library again. If this doesn't work, I'll go to my earlier session that I already ran. Okay, I always have this problem. I still haven't figured it out. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go to my previous R session, okay? Let's see. No, my working directory doesn't change. It didn't change. it really didn't change. Let's see my former R session. I wasn't sure that I'll have this problem again. So that's why I didn't. Okay, so here, so this is my previous R session. So when I said, so it didn't, okay, so here, if you look here, bottom left here, when I say library F basics, it should load all of this. And so again, let me try here. Let me see if it will work here. My earlier session, because it's already here. Again, hoping it will not give me an error because I already have it. Okay, it worked here because I already brought it into this session. All right. Okay, so it seems to have worked here. This is my earlier session that I did before. All right. I already successfully brought it in here. Now, look at this line. This line is most important for this class. Because in your Echo 4000, you did just simple OLS between two variables. But here, and those variables are, we call them cross-sectional at a given time period. Here, in this class, you and I will be working predominantly with time series data. What is time series? You know, return to Facebook. Somebody was asking me, why do you like IBM? Return to Facebook, day by day by day by day by day, or year by year by year, or month by month. So it's observations on a one variable over time. That's what we call time series. If you're working with time series, you need to let R know the specific type of data you are working with. So this command on line 6, I'm telling R that my data, I want R to identify it as a time, look, TS, time series data. So the command is Mr. R or Miss R software, please, I want you to recognize my data as a time series. And once you recognize this as a time series, keep my old data, but put the time series one into data one. See that? So I put it in data one, and I'll be working with data one. So data one has my old data, but now R recognizes it as a time series. Okay, so you see that it worked. By the way, are you guys following me? I hear silence in my class. Are you guys there?
I am.
Okay.
We're here.
Okay, good.
I'm
So
just trying to figure out how to do it on a Mac.
oh, Mac is a different ball game.
Yeah.
Every year I have a group of students in Mac, and they really bug the heck out of me. I don't use Mac, but so everybody using Mac in this class, I want you all to kind of, when you find answers, the way to do stuff on Mac, please share it with all other people using Mac, okay? Because sometimes what you see on Windows-based is different from the Mac. Okay. So let us.
Professor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, quick question. You might have said it already, but the library command, after you input that in, that allows you to use that library.
Okay. Okay. It's like saying, you know, sometimes you come to your computer, you turn your computer on, right? Yes.
Yes.
But you have Excel in your computer. Is that correct?
Correct.
But before you begin to use Excel, what do? You have to go and click open Excel and bring it into your working session, yes?
Yeah.
That's what library does.
Okay, got it.
This install packages installs Excel in your computer.
Got it.
But every day you come, you want to do calculations on Excel, you have to click on Excel, bring it to the Windows, and then begin to do calculation. That's what library does, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right. So now let's take a look at data one. So it tells me that data one begins, data one, the beginning is observation 1, the end is observation 4, the frequency is 1. In other words, it's day by day by day or year by year by year, but you know, I have time 1, time 2, time 3, I don't have time 1 and then 3 months later quarter, and then another 3 months later quarter. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to make it to tell the computer to make it a time series, because if it's not a time series, the frequency can be all over the place and it doesn't work quite well. Okay. Okay.
Wait, hi, Professor. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to take away time 0 when we're calculating all of this? We're only doing it 1 through 4?
Yeah, I took away time 0 because I didn't want to confuse you guys here, okay?
Okay. Yeah, because I'm running it with time 0 and it's not giving me the proper.
Yes, that's why I removed time 0 for this first session. But eventually eventually you will see how to handle that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yes, anybody that wants to install, please, thank you, Andrew. Make sure that the syntax, the way I have typed install, and please spell it correctly. It's INSTALL dot packages, S, parentheses in double quotes, F, lowercase and uppercase basics. Okay, thank you, Andrew. All right. So, okay. Now, if you look at the Excel spreadsheet that I just loaded, I just gave you, you see there are 2 columns. Is that correct? Yes?
Yes, time and HPR.
There's time and HPR. But what I want to use now is only HPR. So I tell my R, I say, go to my data 1, my time series, go to my data 1, and extract from me that column HPR, because that's what I want to work with. But you see, it is data 1. Look at the parentheses, is square parentheses, comma, so space, comma. This space means, you know, in the matrix, the row comes first and then the column. It says pick up all the row numbers for that column HPR. So I'm telling it to just essentially go, this is very important for all of you. For example, you go to FRED, the Federal Reserve Economic Database, and you extract, I ask you to extract many variables, GDP, interest rates, money supply. I ask you to extract many, many variables. So you, on one spreadsheet, you have time and 10 different variables, but we want to use only GDP. So tell R to go into that file and extract only that column with all the numbers in the rows. So Excel just goes there and extracts it. Does somebody have a question? Somebody might need to enrich. I didn't have to, but I don't know, maybe try. Okay, good. All right, you guys are having administrative problems. Figure it out. Okay, can I go on, please? Let me go on. So now I want to show whether it has extracted my data. It did. It has extracted my data, only HPR, and put it in the Y head. Okay, in R, okay, let me go back. In R, if you want, suppose you have 200 rows of numbers, and you don't want to, if you tell R to show you all the numbers, it takes time to show you 200 numbers, 200 rows. But if you say head, it shows you the top 5, the first 5 rows. Okay? Who asked me that? Andrew? Was it? Okay, okay. So that's what it does. So there's heads, and I think there's tail, I think. Tail will give you the last 5 rows of your data. Yes, okay? But I'm not messing with that now. So let's see Y. So you see, I told it to show me Y. What's in Y? It goes and shows me only holding period return. The first return, the second return, the third return, the fourth return. So I have extracted it. Now I'm ready to do work with it, okay? Okay. Everybody, please look up. Later, I'm going to install another package called Moments. And then I'm going to do library. I'm going to use the Moments, because I'm trying to show you that depending on the package you use, the numbers you get for these moments are different. I won't do it now. Let's continue with the package fbasics, okay? Now, everybody look here. This is the command. If you want to do basic statistics, if you want to calculate basic statistics using that package fbasics, this is the command. So basic stats. If you notice, this S is uppercase. Everything else is lowercase, uppercase. So what is my Y? My Y is my holding period returns. Is everybody following my cursor? My Y is below here. The first return is here. My second return is here. My third return is here. My fourth return is here. It's in the Excel spreadsheet I showed you. But because I use that command, this command in blue, this one here, to extract only the holding period. I don't want the time. I don't want any other variable. I want only the HPR. So okay. Now I want to do some statistics. I want to calculate the moments, the mean, the variance, the skewness, the kurtosis, and so on and so forth. That is this command fbasics. So if I run it now, everybody pay attention. You will see it will give me all the statistics I need. Okay, so I told it using this HPR returns only, calculate the statistics. See what it did. It gives me the number of observations. It gives me the minimum return there, the maximum return, first quartile. The second quartile is the mean. That's the third. It gives me the 75th percentile, the third quartile. It gives me the mean, the median, the sum, the SE mean, LCL, and so all these things are all defined properly in the manual. It gives me the variance. It gives me the standard deviation. It gives me the skewness. It gives me the kurtosis. Now, the first thing, okay. Guys, please listen carefully. R, the program R, is so different from Excel. If I tell Excel to do descriptive statistics for me, Excel will give me a bunch of numbers. I don't know if you guys remember when you were doing regression on Excel. If you do OLS regression on Excel, Excel will give you all kinds of crazy stuff on the screen. Number one, it takes space and it just clutters the screen. But what R does is, R, usually when you do complicated routines, R will run those routines, keep all the answers in its memory, and then you have to ask for details. For example, if all I need to say is the mean, I tell R to give me the mean, okay? So you see, it gives me the mean, 0.2175, this mean here. It goes and extracts it. So R tends to save space. This basic stats is a very simple one, so it's giving me everything here. But for some commands you give R, Your results might be 5 pages of numbers, different statistics. R will not put everything on the screen. R will tell you, okay, I have run it. It will just give you the cursor. And then you can extract whatever you need with the appropriate command. If I need the variance only, I go here, I tell R to give me the variance only, and I run it. You see, it gives me only the variance. Okay, and so on and so forth. But look at the skewness here. Look at the skewness here. And look at the kurtosis. Because the kurtosis is negative, this number here, what is excess kurtosis? Because remember, the kurtosis is raised to power 4. So it can never be negative. But because it's negative here, what F basic package calls kurtosis is really excess kurtosis. And what it calls skewness, I haven't figured it out yet because I tried to look, but I didn't have too much time yesterday. Okay, just one final thing with F basics. I want to do the normality test. So this is the syntax. Normal test, see how the T is uppercase. Normal test of, I want to use my data, my holding period return, and what method? Jacques Berer. Because there are many other ways you can test for normality, but this one I want to tell it to test Jacques Berer, okay? So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to run it. So it gives me the results here. So it has calculated here, it has calculated the Jacques Berer statistic, just like the formula I gave you on the second page on Tuesday. It calculated it here. And then it gives you the p-value. So this p-value here, look, the p-value is 0.857. Is this small or large?
It's large.
It's very large. It's very large. If I'm testing at the 1% level, my p-value should be less than 0.0. My p-value should be less than 0.01. So in this case, what do? Do you reject or accept the null?
Reject.
No.
I'm sorry. You cannot. You fail to reject the null hypothesis.
You fail to reject the null because this is very large. Okay.
So this means that it's not a normal distribution, right?
For Jacques Berer, the null hypothesis is it is normal.
If Jacques Berer is equal to 0, we have a normal distribution, right?
Yeah. Yes. So the null for Jacques Berer test is null hypothesis. It is a normal distribution. The alternative says it is not normal. So if you reject the null, then you are saying it is not normal. But here we fail to reject. That means we are saying it is normal. Okay? Of course, I made up these numbers. Okay, now, before the time ends, let me go back here. I want to go back here, everybody.
Professor, I have a quick question. I'm looking and it seems like the standard deviation is different on R than it is on Excel. Is that true, or do I just have the wrong?
Well, okay, because the standard deviation that you are using is with population. You're dividing by 4.
Oh, okay. So how do you get the real standard deviation that we did on the Excel?
How do you match it with this one on R?
Yeah.
You divide by 3, n minus 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I did it already in the spreadsheet. So the only 2 things that didn't match my spreadsheet are skewness and kurtosis for F basic. Okay, just bear with me, guys. I'm going back here. I want to install this package called Moments, okay? So I will install the package called Moments. Fingers crossed, I will install this. Okay, they are currently loaded. Restarting R to updating is strongly recommended. I don't want to restart. I don't want to. it tells me that it wants to redo it again. I don't want to redo it again because I know I'll run into problems. But of course, it's giving me a problem already. Okay, you know what? I already installed the R package before, but it's giving me all kinds of problems now. And it says it needs me to restart R. If I restart R, it might be a problem. Let me try it. If it gives a problem, it doesn't matter. You guys do it at home, okay? So when you finish working with F Basics, go ahead and install the package moments and use library moments. Oh, it seems to have worked. Package moments is in use and will not be installed. Okay, it already tells me that I have already installed it. That's okay. All right. Okay. For package moments, the same command for skewness is the same command as I use for F Basics. So I'm going to do skewness. That's why I chose the package moment, because the syntax is the same as F Basics. So I'll use the same syntax and I'll say run it. Okay. Now, if you notice, guys, do you remember the skewness with
0.3.
The skewness with, yes, is 0.307147. But with moments, the skewness is different. You see, it's different because it's using a different formula. I mean, I suspect the formula F Basics is using, it's using a formula that is based on quartiles. I have to check it. It's quartile 3 minus 2 times quartile 2 plus quartile 1 divided by quartile 3 minus quartile 1. There's a funny, so skewness has many formulas. I suspect that's what F Basics is using. I haven't confirmed it, but I'll try to confirm it. Now let's do with the moments package. Let's see what the kurtosis will be. Okay, again, the same syntax. You see here, you see this, the kurtosis, right? What was the kurtosis for the F Basics?
Minus 1.8.
It's what? Minus 1.86. And this one here is 2.02. And this tells me that actually the moments package is giving me coefficient of kurtosis instead of excess kurtosis. Okay? So what's my message to you guys? My message to you guys is, depending on the package you use, the formula they use will be different, especially for these higher moments. So you need to be careful. Okay, you always need, you are not wrong. It's just that you need to identify the package, the specific package that you are using. Okay, guys? Yes, you can go to Google and type the documentation and look there. Okay. I'll figure it out and let you. I'm sure you can use the help session, but let me do it first and try to figure it out and then show you. But you can try it over the weekend too. Okay. Look on the bottom right hand side here. There's help. There's this on the bottom right hand here. There's help. Okay, so you can try it. I haven't tried using this help, but okay, I'll figure it out. It's just a warning to everybody that different R packages use different formulas. Yes, Danny, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I just wanted to know what we're going over next class.
Okay, so next class.
How's that looking?
Okay, the homework I want you to do for next class is read chapter 1. Okay. And
Got
then
it, done.
And then over the weekend, I will send you, if I can clean up my programs, I'll send you some of this syntax, like these ones. I'll make it more fleshy. I'll send them to you to try. But next Tuesday, I want to begin with chapter 2, okay?
Professor.
Okay.
So next Tuesday,
Sounds like a plan.
next Tuesday, I will teach chapter 2, and if time permits, I will go to R to illustrate certain things. But then whatever I teach on Tuesday, on Thursday, we shall do the R session so I can make it much clearer for you. Okay?
Okay.
So Sophia, you had a
Thanks.
question. Who has a question? Sophia?
Yeah.
Yeah, Sophia, go ahead.
So for like Mac users, so we kind of like have to figure it out by ourselves, or is there?
Well, I don't use Mac, but what I can try to do for you is whatever package I use and for whatever command I use, I will try to see if I can identify the Mac version and send it to you. But you can do the same faster than I can, okay?